For my second review today, I'm going to be taking a look at the MSI GV63 8SE RTX 2060 gaming laptop. I'm releasing this review in unison with my review on the OPSeat Grandmaster gaming chair, and I'm doing that because I've partnered up with OPSeat to give away both a Grandmaster chair and this MSI gaming laptop to one winner. If you want a chance to win both prizes, check out the link in the description below, or go to techguided.com/giveaway. For the MSI GV63 RTX 2060 laptop, I thought it would be a good follow-up review to my review on the Acer Predator Helios 300, which has a GTX 1060 in it. I wanted to test out how one of the new RTX 2060 laptops to see how the performance compares to the older GTX 1060. So I wanted to find the most affordable RTX 2060 laptop that had specs that were as close to the Helios 300 specs as possible. That laptop ended up being the MSI GV63. Like the Acer Predator Helios 300, the MSI GV63 comes with an Intel Core i7-8750H processor, 16 GB of RAM, and a 15.6-inch 1080p display. There are some differences between the two laptops though. Of course, the MSI GV63 comes with the newer RTX 2060 GPU, whereas the Predator Helios 300 sports a GTX 1060 GPU. The Acer Predator Helios 300 also comes with a slightly faster memory, 2666 MHz versus 2400 MHz, and a slightly higher refresh rate, 144 Hz versus 120 Hz. The MSI GV63 does have the advantage when it comes to storage though. Whereas the Acer Predator Helios 300 only comes with a single 256GB NVMe SSD, the GV63 comes with both a 256GB NVMe SSD and a secondary 1TB hard drive. And the GV63 is also smaller and lighter than the Helios 300 too. The MSI GV63 measures in with dimensions of 15.1 inches wide, 10.2 inches deep, and 1.2 inches thick. And at just 4.8 pounds, it is one of the lighter gaming laptop options currently available. The Helios 300, in comparison, measures in at 15.5 inches wide, 10.5 inches deep, and 1 inch thick. It also weighs nearly a pound more than the MSI GV63 at 5.5 pounds. The price difference between the two laptops is fairly significant in favor of the Helios 300 though. The Acer Predator Helios 300 is now down to under $1,000, and the MSI GV63 comes in at $1,450. So the big question I want to ask in this review is, in terms of price to performance, is the MSI GV63 and its newer RTX 2060 GPU worth the cost over a laptop with an older generation GPU in it? And after that, is the MSI GV63 at $1,450 a better deal than the Acer Predator Helios 300 at $1,000? Before we jump into the benchmarks though, let me first touch on the keyboard and cooling performance on the MSI GV63. The keyboard on the GV63 is designed by SteelSeries. The keys are membrane style and are black with red letters and red trim, and the keys are backlit red. In terms of keyboard quality, the GV63's keyboard is probably as good of an option as you'll find in this price range. There's really not a whole lot you can do with a laptop keyboard, but the GV63's keys are nice to press, and it's not too bad typing on them as well. Now, along with the actual benchmark performance, which you'll see in just a minute, the cooling performance is where the MSI GV63 really stands out over the Acer Predator Helios 300. The GV63's cooling system consists of dual fans and 6 copper heat pipes. Across the 6 games that I tested this laptop on, the CPU performance mostly sat in the low to mid 70s, but it did get up into the upper 80s in more taxing scenarios. When under load, the GPU fluctuated between the upper to lower 70s, but it did jump into the mid 80s on occasion. In terms of sound levels, outside of gaming, the fans on the GV63 don't get too loud. However, while gaming, the fans will bump up to maximum speed on occasion, and you'll definitely hear them. So if you are planning on gaming on this laptop in a public setting, just be warned that the people around you will be able to hear the fans. Also, MSI's pre-installed Dragon Center software gives you quite a bit of different options to change fan settings and game configurations. I did play with the settings a bit, but for the most part, the stock settings seem to work just fine. Overall though, the cooling performance on the MSI GV63 was good, and that is one area where the Acer Predator Helios 300 does have some problems. The Helios 300 has to be ran pretty much at maximum fan speed while gaming, and even then there can be frame drops in the middle of games due to the laptop getting too hot. It's not a horrible problem, and the laptop can run for a long time without having any problems, but it is there, and that problem doesn't exist at all on the MSI GV63. So in terms of cooling performance and its impact on your in-game experience, the MSI GV63 outperforms the Acer Predator Helios 300 in that area. The real question with the MSI GV63 though was how well the new RTX 2060 laptop GPU would handle games, especially in comparison to the previous generation GTX 1060. In my testing, the RTX 2060 in the MSI GV63 offered a noticeable increase in performance over the GTX 1060 in the Acer Predator Helios 300. Again, the Helios 300 was a bit more erratic in the cooling department, and that may have impacted the average frame rate a bit. So a higher-end GTX 1060 laptop with a better cooling system in it may perform closer to the results I got from the MSI GV63. But in every game that I tested on both the GV63 and the Helios 300, the GV63 offered at minimum an 8% performance increase. I tested the GV63 in the following games: PUBG, Apex Legends, Rocket League, Dirt 4, The Witcher 3, and Fortnite. Across the 4 games that I benchmarked on both the MSI GV63 and the Helios 300, that's PUBG, Rocket League, Dirt 4, and The Witcher 3, there's about an 8 to 10% performance advantage for the GV63 over the Helios 300. In Dirt 4, the GV63 did offer a nearly 40% higher frame rate. That does seem a bit high, and perhaps I made a mistake in the settings from one laptop to the other. So if you want to throw that one out and just call it an 8 to 10% performance increase, you're probably justified in doing so. But still, an 8 to 10% performance increase is a nice step up in performance. That's the difference between running The Witcher 3 at just below 60 frames per second and running it at closer to 70 frames per second. So despite the Helios 300 coming with faster memory, the RTX 2060 in the GV63 gives it a noticeable edge in performance over the Helios 300's GTX 1060. As for the battery life on the GV63, it's not ideal. You can maybe get 4 to 5 hours out of the laptop's battery if you're just using it for internet browsing or other casual use cases. But in the grand scheme of things, I really don't think you can find a gaming-specific laptop with a good battery life in this price range, or in any other price range for that matter, if you're talking about the battery life when gaming. So no, the battery life on the GV63 isn't great, but since there probably aren't any other options in this price range that can offer a better battery and still maintain the same level of in-game performance, I'd rather sacrifice the battery life for the performance. And in regards to the Acer Predator Helios 300, the battery life really isn't that much better there either. When all things are considered, both the GV63 and the Helios 300 perform very well. The GV63 will give you an 8 to 10% performance increase over the Helios 300, but the Helios 300 comes in at nearly $500 cheaper. The Helios 300 also comes with slightly faster RAM and a slightly higher refresh rate, but as you saw in the benchmarks, the faster RAM doesn't seem to make a difference, and the Helios 300 is only hitting a high enough frame rate to fully utilize its 144Hz refresh rate in non-demanding esports titles. The GV63 also offers more storage out of the box and has noticeably better cooling performance. So for me, despite the $500 price difference, I think the MSI GV63 offers a better overall value than the Helios 300. It's close though, and if you have a more limited budget, the Acer Predator Helios 300 is definitely a worthy option to consider. Both laptops can run pretty much any game on at least medium to higher settings with a frame rate of at least 50 to 60 frames per second. So what it all boils down to is how much you have to spend. If you can stretch your budget to $1,450, go with the MSI GV63. If not, the Acer Predator Helios 300 is a nice alternative. If you want to check out the MSI GV63 or the Acer Predator Helios 300 on Amazon, I provided links to both options in the description below. Those are affiliate links and I will get a commission if you make a purchase after clicking on them. Of course, any support would be much appreciated, but you can always go directly to Amazon and search for them by name as well. And again, I have teamed up with OPSeat to give away both an OPSeat Grandmaster gaming chair and this MSI GV63 laptop. So if you want a chance to win both of those prizes, I've linked to the giveaway page in the description below. But that does it for this review. Thank you for watching. Good luck if you enter into the giveaway, and I'll see you all next time.